market's so bad. How bad is it? It's not horrible. It's just buyers are finally taking advantage of the market. They're being picky about what they're buying. I don't know how else to explain this other than let's get into it. Home sellers are so fed up with cutting listing prices that they're just yanking the homes off their market altogether. This is Fortune.com. It was July 16th. What I'm seeing is a pattern now. Buyers know. They're like, how long has this been on market? 90 days? You know what? Let's go take a look at it and see what's what. Look, for almost 30 years, sellers have had their ways. It's been a seller's market for 30 years, except for 2008 to 2012. That was a little bit different, but for the most part, sellers have had their way. I want a high price. I want the terms I want. I want a free car. I want your firstborn child, and I want it as is. Now, not every deal in the past 30 years have been clean cut, easy going. But the point is that buyers are being picky. If sellers don't look around and see what's happening in their market, i.e. comps, i.e. comparing their house to other houses in the neighborhood for what is selling, which ones have sold in the last 7 days and why compared to yours. If you just go through and have hubris about, oh, my house is the king hill, it's a pile of gold, when instead it's really a pile of dookie, your house is going to sit on market, especially if it's at that price. What are buyers willing to pay for it? Buyers are willing to pay fair market value based on other homes in the area. And if you have 5 houses to choose from the buyer's standpoint, you're going to buy the house that best fits your needs and your budget and the current condition, location, and for that market, period. I'm not going to argue with it. I can't do it. I just can't pull a rabbit out of my hat or other orifices. It just doesn't work that way. Yes, it's disappointing, but guess what? The buyers are finally rejoicing and saying, I have time to take what I want. If I'm going to be serious about buying a house, I'm going to buy the right house that's in good condition, that's turnkey. I'm not really looking for a fixer-upper. I want this at that price. So here's the thing. How to know if your home is priced too high. If your house is on market 30 days and you've had showings, open houses, and you haven't had an inch of interest, your house is priced too high. I don't know how else to explain it to you. If it's been 30 days, your house is priced too high. If you have not gotten one offer, you've had showings, it doesn't matter what the follow-up is. You have 3 to 5 seconds to make an impression on curb appeal for that house. Within 3 to 5 seconds, your house has been judged curb appeal. Sometimes they just say, nope, not really interested. They just move on. Once they get in, they compare it to other houses, right? I have a buyer's checklist, but you can tell right away. Look, feel, cleanliness, smell, etc. If your house is not in kept condition, you're going to turn off buyers. You have one chance to make a buyer want that house. Let's take a look at this idea from a funnel standpoint. Let me open this up really quick. I'm going to break this open so you don't have to offend anybody, Vito. Where's the marketing there? Let's take a quick look at this. I'm looking right now at this bottom triangle. Let's take it from one buyer standpoint. They have thousands of homes to look at. Then they have to figure out the room count, the budget, the age, the location. So let's just say your house is in Blossom Valley and your home is in Blossom Valley. Well, you're looking at comps based on Blossom Valley, a 1 mile radius, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,400 square feet, plus or minus 10%, right? Those are the comps. That's how we price your house. However, when a buyer's looking at it, they're not just looking at your house. They're looking at 50 houses. They're not going to go look at 50 houses. They're going to go look at maybe 10 or 15 over a few days spread. And you have one chance to make that mark. Let's just say that you have thousands of homes to look at, but because of your budget constraints and your school or your bedroom count or condition, there's maybe 10 to 15 houses to look at. And then they're going to go look at 5. They're going to make a decision, and then they're going to make 1 offer or 2 offers. Today, what's happening is they're going to come in and lowball you, make offers on 3 houses, and make that decision. Which one makes the most sense to me? Because they're in control right now. Is it a buyer's market? Not technically. In certain areas it is, but for the whole, on the zip code, on the city, on the county, it's not a buyer's market. In certain areas, it's not a buyer's market. Some buyers, the smart buyers, are looking at good areas with good houses, with common sense pricing, and they're coming in and making an offer on it. If your house is outside of that realm for whatever reason, condition, price, location, they're going to go on to the next one, because why would want to negotiate if your house is priced $300,000 or $400,000 out of what the condition is that it demands, right? So anyway, there you go. Home delistings, homeowners taking houses off market as buyers refuse higher prices. If you're a seller and you see what the market is, whether you get offers. I had one house we took off market after 15 days because we didn't get the price expectation we wanted. We're just going to wait until rates come down and put it back on market, because when things change, if your house is priced at $2 million and it's commanding 1.6, 1.7, and you don't want to go down that low, take it off market. Sellers delisting their homes. Federal Reserve rates hold steady as uncertainty remains elevated. We have an abundance of supply right now because there's less buyers in the market because the rates are so high. Even though prices came down 0.2 of a point over the last week, that's not enough to shift the market. It's not. 90 days plus on market. This one finally decreased their price, but did they do it enough? Let's take a look. Park, not my listing. 1.450, 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2,124 square feet, 1.45. The original price was 1.6, 1.579. And it's in a decent neighborhood. So location-wise, you're doing well. This is a good area. And look, it's across this, backs up to a park. You can walk to the park. I sold a house on Yolo Drive and Park Victoria, which is over here. And then I sold another house over here a while back. So this is a good neighborhood. Communication Hill is right here. That's Capital Expressway, 87. It's been on market 97 days. Let's take a look inside real quick. Original floor. I have a post right in the middle of my garage, and the garage door stops right before it because that's just the way the house was designed. I can take that post and split it up across the beam. Never got around to it. But I look at this and I go, there it is. It's telling me right away, you look dated. Plus the driveway is a little beat up. Let's see. Nice wood floors. You have a nice bay window. Open it up a little bit. Yeah. This is a good one. This is a split level. It's nice. This is a nice house, except for look, it's screaming dated, right? It's original kitchen. Maybe they redid the counters. You have a white refrigerator. So now the buyer's thinking, oh, I have to put a new refrigerator in there. If you're doing stainless steel, do stainless steel. I can tell you right away that oven is beat up and old, right? Original bathroom painted. That's okay. Looks like that was redone at one time. Has a pool. 50% of the people want a pool. The other 50% of the people don't want a pool. And there's a small, if you look at it as a Venn diagram, there's a small population of, I'll take a pool, I don't care. But most people will tell you, I'm not really interested in a pool. It costs $400 to $700 a month to keep up a pool. Distressed house of the week. This is actually a condo, 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath, Silmar Terrace, not my listing, $1.4 million in Sunnyvale. This is bank owned, and that's where it is. It's kind of nice, but $1.4 million. I'd rather move to San Jose and drive a little bit. I don't need the convenience for a 2-bedroom. Home of the week, East Homestead Road, not my listing, $2.8 million, 4-bed, 2.5 bath, 1,700 square feet, built in 1973. It looks like it's kind of updated. You can walk to the Apple campus. I can't remember it right now. That's a funky looking hood. I don't like that. I like that they redid the ceiling, but I'm not a fan of that ceiling anyway. But everything looks like it's been flipped and brand new. The one negative there is it's on a busy street, so I won't pay $3 million for a busy street. This one's a brand new house. Looks like they totally redid it. Still built in 1951, so it's still the original floor plan, but it looks like it's been flipped. $3.5 million, Center Street, and again, it's semi-walking distance to Castro Street. By the time you get back home, you'll have walked off your buzz. Let's take a look inside. Nice. Thank you for doing a floor plan. Hardly anybody does floor plans. It's so easy to do though. Guys, I don't know why it's in red, but it is. JADU Junior. Looks like it's the Grand Suites there. This looks like it was built on, so that's probably an addition. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's actually 5-bedroom if you want to keep it like that. So that's kind of nice. Let's go back to the album. Completely redone. Wow, this is beautiful. This is gorgeous. Huge common room. Look at that. I love this. How much is it? 3.5 million. I better go break out my checkbook. Guys, this is a beautiful house. For Mountain View, for an older house, this has been completely updated and it's beautiful. I'd like to go in and take a closer look at it. Just look at the workmanship on the surface. This is a beautiful house. We have 329 homes in Santa Clara County that have been on market for over 40 days. We have 93 homes that have been on market for over 90 days. We have 72 Bay Area bank-owned properties and 272 California bank-owned properties. Right now, what we're seeing is there's not a ton of bank-owned properties coming into the market. Yesterday, I was talking to my muse, Ryan Lundquist, and he mentioned that there's picture showing distressed single-family homes. We're still at 2.7% of homes with a loan on it are in distress, which is nothing. San Jose, 600 homes. We need to be about 1,000 to be a balanced market, but buyers are taking their time. Are we in a buyer's market? I think we're kind of in a buyer's market depending on where you are. If you're in Cupertino, even Willow Glen, Los Gatos, over there on that side of 87, on the west side of 87, I don't think you have anything to worry about just yet. But on the east side of 87, pricing is a factor. It's just the way it is. All the way down to Morgan Hill, Gilroy, we're seeing prices come down. Yesterday, I saw a house in Morgan Hill that listed at 1.3, 1.5, and it sold for 900. It is what it is. The market is taking their time in certain areas. Santa Clara, we have 1,200 homes on market. We were up to 1,500, maybe 1,600 2 months ago. People are cooling off. Don't forget, it's the summer, right? September, we're supposed to have the FOMC testify, and maybe they'll bring rates up down. Like they said, we're expecting it to come down. We're expecting rates to come down 0.5% by the end of the year. That could be in November. So we don't know. We're just kind of holding still. So there were 63 homes back on market. That means the transaction fell through or they couldn't qualify. And that's not the last 7 days. That's what we have on market right now for Santa Clara County. And we've had 41 canceled, 26 with expired, and 10 withdrawn, meaning they're off the market, meaning sellers are like, I'm done, which goes back to the beginning where sellers are taking their houses off market. Are we doing it in droves? No, because a huge portion of our county is on the west side of Highway 87, and we're not seeing a problem there. We're seeing a problem on the east side where pricing is coming down. If you don't price it competitively based on condition, location, and your comps, your house is going to sit.